welcome to our channel. Here we read Bible stories written for children and adults alike. Our verse today is 2 Peter 1:4, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises. The previous verse, 2 Peter 1:3, explains where we receive our promises. Through the knowledge of God and of Jesus Christ our Lord, God hath given unto us. As we know more about God through his word, therefore we know these promises. And now join us as we continue the story of the family of Jacob, who was called Israel. Things in Egypt weren't going well. Joseph had been dead a long time. Today begins the life of Moses, the man who would eventually deliver Israel from Egypt. In the following weeks, the story will continue. Our story today is called An Israelite Baby Becomes an Egyptian Prince, taken from Exodus 1 and 2. When Jacob brought his family to Egypt, there were only 70 of them altogether, including Joseph and his sons. But by the time Joseph and his generation had passed away, the children of Israel filled the land of Goshen, and they were to be found in all the cities of Egypt. They were a rich people and powerful, but a time came when a new king ruled in the land, who knew nothing about the great Joseph and the wonderful work he had done for the people of Egypt. Because of the numbers and the riches of the Israelites, the Egyptians became jealous. The king began to think, too, that they might perhaps one day side with his enemies against him. He therefore began to treat them roughly and to make slaves of them. But still it seemed that the Israelites became more and more, so the Egyptians decided on a really terrible thing. They wanted all the Israelite boy babies to be killed as soon as they were born. The next plan was to have all the little Israelite sons thrown into the river and only the little girls kept alive. One day, a lady named Jochebed gave birth to a little boy. His mother did her very best to see he was not killed by the cruel Egyptians. For 3 whole months she hid him. Then she made an ark or basket of bulrushes like a little boat, and she coated it with pitch inside so that the water could not get in. Inside she laid her little baby, and she set the basket in the river between the coarse water grasses near the bank. The baby's sister, Miriam, watched to see what would happen. After a while, one of Pharaoh's daughters, a princess of Egypt, came down to wash in the river, and she saw the ark. She sent her maid to fetch it. When she opened it, the little baby cried. She knew that it was an Israelite baby, but she was a kind person. Instead of having him killed, she sent the little girl who was watching to find an Israelite woman to look after him. She did not know that the little girl, Miriam, was really the baby's sister. Miriam went and fetched the baby's own mother. When he was older, the princess took him to the royal palace and treated him like her own son. She called him Moses, which means drawn out, because she had taken him out of the river. So, a little Israelite baby became an Egyptian prince. I'm going to ask you a few questions now. I'll give you a few seconds to think about it, and then I'll reveal the answer. Number 1. What changed the way Pharaoh felt about the Israelites? Pharaoh was afraid because there were so many and they were so strong. Number 2. What terrible thing did the Pharaoh decide to do? Pharaoh decided to kill all the male babies. Number 3. How did one mother, Jochebed, save her baby's life? She made a basket and placed her baby in it and had her daughter, Miriam, watch. Number 4. Who found the baby and what did she do with them? The princess of Egypt found the baby, and she had Miriam get her mother to nurse Moses. Let's review our verse. 2 Peter 1:4, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises. The Israelites were now slaves. How could God keep his promise? Pharaoh was determined to destroy them. Remember, the Israelites were God's chosen people. God had made promises to Abraham and down to Jacob. God always keeps his promises. His people would not be destroyed by Pharaoh. God promised to his people would be kept. Finally, let's go over verse one final time. 2 Peter 1:4, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises. Thank you for joining us on our Bible reading journey. I hope you can join us next time as we continue our new story entitled Moses Had to Flee.